Godzilla Kong, the New Empire.
ShinRobjira.
Playmates, Godzilla Kong, the New Empire, Battle Roar Godzilla, Battle Roar Kong, and Battle Roar King Louie. Battle Roar Evolutionary Heartburn Godzilla over here will be standing just under 7 inches tall. Color me surprised. Meanwhile, Battle Roar King Louis will be standing at exactly the same height. Oh. Alright, just under 7 inches tall, let's go. And then we have Battle Roar Monkey, who will be, wow, just about 7 inches tall. Good stuff, Playmates, damn. And boy howdy, wouldn't you know it, they're all new molds, unlike somebody else. Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that in length, just because everywhere I look I see their faces. And if you buy them, you buy them. If you don't, save money for the highest stuff. That's what I'm doing. So first, let's take a look at Godzilla. Paint, detail, articulation, and gimmick. Ridiculousness aside, though, I do feel Playmates properly evolved their game up from the original Battle Roar Godzilla. I mean, yeah, they're both essentially kind of doing the same thing, but in comparison, okay, yeah, never mind. They're both really doofy looking. I'm just really more so gravitating towards Evolved Godzilla. One of the reasons being this guy just has so much more color to him. He's not just jet black with blue on him. You know, we got a nice little underbelly dustage going on over here, as well as on the neck, on the inside of the thighs. Both thighs, yes. We're gonna get some serviceable paint on the toes, as well as on the claws. Gonna get some somewhat mismatching red paint on Godzilla's elbow spikes when they're kind of supposed to just be pink. Same for the tail over here. And Godzilla's newly evolved Thagomizer. You hear that, paleo people? I learned a word. And I gotta say, I do like the detail on this here little Thagomizer. I just like saying it. It's a fun word. Minimal at best, but I just like the fact that the dorsal fins actually look like they were split down the middle. We've got some nice detailing in there. We've got some nice detailing on the underside of the tail as well, where we're going to see that underbelly dustage going on. It's not so much up here, it becomes a lot more visible as we move throughout the tail, and it brings out the nice minimalistic detailing going on under there. Here we have the bottom of Godzilla's feet with a whole bunch of legalities on it. And now let's take a look at this face. And yes, it's exceptionally friggin' goofy, but it doesn't look, you know, yeah, there was very much a glow up between 2021 and 2024. Technically 2023, but who's counting? Again, yes, he looks like a mutated submarine with a face, but the face just looks better. The eyes are somewhat straight. Godzilla's teeth does look like he's been eaten out of the oatmeal bowl. The paint on the teeth only really gets worse once you look at it from a different angle. Very chunky, very clumpy, somewhat mismatching. But overall, the detail at play here looks pretty good. I don't know why Godzilla's collarbones are headlights, but they are. Headlights, fog lights, whatever have you. And again, it's really the detail at play here that has surprised me the most. You know, it's not Bandai Movie Monster series level of cheap figure great detail, but I definitely think it's better than what we were getting. That being said, these translucent Hawaiian Punch stained dorsal fins that Godzilla has in this form, I like the way they look. I was a sucker for those blue translucent dorsal fins, but these pinkish reddish, who gives a shit, translucent dorsal fins just scratch something of an itch. And it's nice to see the detailing on these dorsal fins from so very far away. Very nice. Sure, it's kind of weird that the reddish pinks really don't match up with the rest of the figure, but I'm pretty sure that's something we dealt with the other Godzilla figures from Playmates. Case in point, there you go. Point made. I feel like it's a fun little gimmicky representation of Wingguard Goji, or Wing Goji. That and the fact that this figure is entirely based around a gimmick, not bad. Speaking of which, can you find where the gimmick is located? It's on his shoulder! That's right! Let's give it a shot. Very nice. Let's try the next one. One more for the road. Is there only two? I guess so, but hey, they actually painted the inside of Godzilla's mouth and his tongue, and they're both two separate colors. Ugh, you're making it hard on me there, Playmates. Because, you know, realistically, it's fine. Like, yeah, definitely the proportions are strange, but the details are nice. I really like the translucent pink dorsal fins. The sound feature definitely feels a lot more on the crisper side, and he's actually painted. The only part of this figure that I think is poorly painted is the teeth, and that's just one major area. So you know what? I'm not going to be a stick in the ass. Paint, solid star. Detail, solid star. Gimmick, yeah, solid star. How about articulation? Starting at Godzilla's ass, we've got a ball joint at the tail over here. Can make a full rotation. Can go down that far and up that far. Side to side motion, somewhat limited. Godzilla's extra long linguini noodle dancer legs over here can kick back about that far, and then out forward about that far, out that far, back about that far. Yes, these are going to be pre-posed legs again. Who cares? Swivular potato chip over here at the ankle. Swivular potato chip over here at the ankle. Full swivel all the way around at the arm. And the other arm. Yeah. His mouth can, of course, open and close, but it is spring-loaded. So yeah, there won't be any posing with his mouth open. I feel it's around the same for the standard of that of a Playmates Godzilla figure, and it does it pretty well, so I'm gonna give it a solid star in terms of articulation. And look at that! He can do this! I was surprised, and you should be too. Alrighty, Godzilla fared pretty well, but how about Monkey? First off, I do just want to say, yes, this figure is in the exact same pose as the original Battle Roar Kong was, but there was a bit of a glow up. You don't have to like it, but you absolutely should appreciate it, because the head sculpt alone is just here we have irradiated meatball monkey, and here we have Kong actually kind of looking like Kong. Nutty. And surprisingly enough, they might be in the same pose, but I don't think this is the same mold. But if you look at Kong's tibial area over here, and then look at the original Battle Roar, they're both different. More scars, more fall off of fur around the underbelly area. Yeah, might not be on the top of everybody's list, but it's nice to know that there was a glow up to be had. Plus, just look at this. Not very Kongian, but with new Kong, this thing's got more emotion in its face than the SH Monster Arts version does. Alright, that was a little bit of cap, but SHMA Kong still looks like he's yawning. Plus, you can actually see his eyes. Kong is probably the most basic of the three Battle Roar figures that we have right now. Not too much to do with color. I mean, we've got a dark brown for the base color, and then for his skin and parts of his beard and his hands and such, it's going to be a light powdery gray. He will absolutely be wall-eyed, though. But the eyes are going to be a nice orange with black pupils at the center. The inside of his mouth will have a flesh tone in there. The gums themselves won't be painted when the mouth is open or anything, but that's okay. Not too much going on Kong's backside over here. You eradicated Kong's monkey cheeks, Playmates! 3 solid excellence. How dare you? I can't even look you in the eye right now. How? What the fuck is this? He's flatter than Solid Snake is in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Where's the cake? You think I'm overreacting? Look at that. Perfect. Kim Kardashian wasn't caked up like that. Anyway, really digging the furry, shaggy hair detail that Kong is sporting this time around from Playmates, and it's really everywhere. Kong grows a beard all over. I don't know, I feel the fur detail just stands out a hell of a lot more this go around. I definitely feel it looks better too, as the prior was just serviceable at best. And yeah, I really hand it to Playmates. They did a good job, save for totally massacring his monkey ass. More of that gray paint on his toes, with some of that fur detailing up top, surprisingly detailed undersides of the feet, finely detailed fingernails, and knuckles, and more knuckles on the Kong hands. Simple, but effective. And while the scars are just painted on Kong's chest and not molded on the Kong's chest, I feel it just works out, so they really didn't need to change much there. No monkey belly button. I don't feel the beard is as long as it should be, though. Maybe that's just a visual wipe from my brain, but I felt like Kong's beard was longer. I see what you're doing there, Adam. I like that Kong's teeth are a lot more uneven this go around, just adds to the character. He's got a nice and mean, angry brow. It looks like the inside of his nostrils are painted. Again, this might not be wholly on your list, but this is definitely an improvement over the original, so I gotta give Playmates some points there. Solid star in terms of paint and detail. Let's go through the rest of the roars and sounds and stuff. Number 1. A little bit more of a grunty, establish your dominance kind of a sound. Long monkey roar. Alright, so it seems like each of these figures so far have 2 differing sound effects, so that's good. Again, it's nice and clear. Oh, sorry, camera died. The speaker on the front of Kong's abdomen really does it justice. See, that's loud. My mic picked it up. I saw the sound waves going. And overall, he just looks a truck ton better than the original. Now, how about articulation? Unlike Godzilla, Kong's head is going to be all rubbery and squishy. You won't be able to pose it though because of the electronics and the lever pullage going on in there and shiz. The arms will be able to swivel all the way around, as will the fists. Can this arm go all the way around? No, it cannot, but it does look like he's scratching his monkey cheeks from behind. Not that he has any. Fist can swivel over here too. Let's check out these legs. All right, full swivel for each. Do we have an ankle pivot? Oh, it doesn't feel like it, which I'm perfectly okay with because the pre-posed legs and no movable ankles just makes this guy standing a lot easier. See if we can do this first try. Oh yeah, much better. Meanwhile, with the original, you forgot around with the ankles too much, or even the positioning of the legs, and shit, way to make a liar out of me, Kong. And for the final figure of this here triple review, let's take a look at the prime rib roast minister himself. King Louis, Lanky Kong, Dr. Zaius. As my friend William of Space Tree Studios said, he really does look like an uncooked steak from a cartoon, an anime or whatever, and it's really hard to overlook because I just see steak now. Monkey steak. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it. In terms of the face, I definitely think old Skar King over here is the weakest. He doesn't really look angry, he looks more so passive. And yeah, the details are nice, and we do get some nice color variation on his face all over his body, but yeah, I'm not going to sit here and try and dish you. He's definitely the weakest of the Battle Roar figures, I feel. And while he's certainly a lot more colorful than that of Kong, he ain't got no ass, and I don't know. For my first Skar King figure, this is pretty mid. Yeah, mid doesn't exactly mean bad, doesn't exactly mean fantastic, but old ribeye monkey over here, I'm definitely curious to see how the giant and the 6-inch figures are going to fare. But like Kong, we're going to get some very present fur detail, all over the arms, all over the neck, all over the back portion of his head because Skar King is bald. He's a lot less threatening now. Get some fucking Rogaine or something, bro. Moving past his whip/not removable accessory over here, we've got more fur, more of that whitish tan paint that's across his fists and arms and parts of his titties. And he might be the weakest, but it's okay. It's all right. It definitely is something. I guess I was wrong. This is somewhat removable, so you can get the batteries out of his back, but other than that, you can't take the whole thing off of him. Pretty sure it's like super glued to his chest over here. But I like that he's at least included with it on his chest instead of just omitting it entirely. So at least there's that. Fine detail on the monkey fists over here. They're a little banged up on my copy. It's either because of the kids in the store or just happened during shipping. Can't really be upset about it. So now let's take a look at Skar King's sound feature and roaring face. I will say, he definitely sounds a lot cooler than he looks. Let's try the other one. Alright, a little bit of a breathe in and hawk out. Bro sounds like he was hawking loogies on Titanic with Rose. And just like Kong, we're going to have maybe a painted inside of the mouth that might actually just be the base color. Either way, there is some difference in there. I quite like that. Got a little bit of God on the front row of teeth, but for the most part, the teeth are different enough so you can pick them out. They don't just look like a crest white strip, which is nice. And just the roaring look of Skar King's face for this Battle Roar figure. Again, it really doesn't communicate villain. Here, he just looks kinda staring you down. Here, it's just kind of like a instead of a He's got designs all over his head, all over his pectorals and waists and forearms over here, and still he feels just kinda on the blandy side. But he does do something different when compared to that of Kong. Interesting to see that he's got blue eyes, and I do quite like how the whip slash is just across his chest like that. Really does give off this militaristic, sadistic piece of jerk-off motherfucker. I guess I should just say the detailing for the whip slash is rather nice. Playmates didn't cheapen out and make it look like a gigantic linguine noodle with spikes on it, and for that I absolutely do give them credit. We've got a lower jaw and a spine, and apparently he's gonna use that to inflict pain on people. So even if he does look like Dr. Zaius, King Louie, and Lanky Kong all rolled into one villain, at least he has a cool weapon, right? Detail, solid star. The sound feature, yet again, it's loud and it's crisp, and I like how he sounds, so solid star. Paint-wise, it's kind of like a half a star for me. It really doesn't like pop out. It doesn't. I'm sorry, he looks like a uncooked steak from a cartoon. He's forever tainted here. That coupled with the passive look on his face, whether he's not roaring or roaring, I don't know. He's gonna get a half a star in terms of paint. He's bright and he's noticeable, but meh, just meh. I don't hate it. It's mid. It's not bad. It's not good. It's mid. It's right in the middle, right in between there. So let's take a look at articulation. Just like Kong, he's going to have a very rubbery face over here. You can't really pose the head because of all the electronics in there and shiz. But the arms can go all the way around, as can these wrists. All the way around. Wrist. Let's check out these legs. Can they go all the way around? Yeah, they can. Look at that. All right. Good show, Playmates. Good show. There will be no cuts at the ankles over here, so there will be nothing to fool you that he's got ankle articulation. And you know what? That's okay, because he might not look the best to me, but he at least stands with ease. So there you go there, Skar King. We're done. Let's move on into size comparisons, and we can end this part 1 of 5 video series off. Battle Roar GxK Kong, Battle Roar Agony Goji, Battle Roar Mechagodzilla, 6-inch Shimo with Frostbite Blast and Titanus Doug and Shuko, Giant Thermonuclear Heartburn Evolutionary Take Godzilla, the best figure in this line so far, Movie Monster Series Mechagodzilla, Movie Monster Series KOTM Godzilla, Movie Monster Series Kong, Monster King Series Evolutionary Heartburn Shin Godzilla, Jada Toys RC Evolutionary Heartburn Godzilla, and Big Boy NECA Boy. For my first Godzilla Kong, the new Empire figures, I'm quite pleased with them. Yes, they're Playmates toys and they don't look as good as that of a Bandai Movie Monster Series figure, SH Monster Artaya, blah 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 blah. But for what they are, I think they look just fine. New molds, new paint jobs, okay, not new gimmicks, but mostly 95% new. Definitely going to be getting the 6-inch Godzilla, Skar King, and Kong, because I want a Kong with a beast glove, dang it. Big, extraterrestrial, ass-slapping terrorizer. I like it. Before I end this thing off, I just want to give a loving shout out to that of Alex, aka Dorky Films. Bro hooked it up, I sent over the money needed, and a couple days later, here they are at my doorstep for me to talk about. Thank you, Alex. But when next we meet, I will be talking about arguably my absolute favorite thing from this haul, the Jada Toys RC Godzilla. I love this thing. Don't worry, Vape Goji will be ripping some fat clouds in tomorrow's review. See you then!